But just to say to us that in our 60th anniversary and in celebrating Workers' Week, I will also quickly use this opportunity to highlight some things that are happening in and around Arokobesa. Recently, we broke ground for a mini stadium that the citizens of Arokobesa will have for their disposal down by the entrance to James Bond Beach. And many times these developments come in our community and the benefit is had by those who live outside of our community, because we don't want to make use of the opportunity that is before us. I want to urge persons that a mini stadium will generate a lot of sporting activities, and therefore there are business opportunities, not only to sell peanut and soda and things on the day. There needs to be a sports store where sporting equipment can be sold. There is going to be the need for physiotherapists, because if you're doing sports, somebody must be injured, unfortunately, at some point in time, and they are going to need attention. So I want us to begin to open our minds as a community to the benefits that will accrue to the community, and that community people should benefit first and foremost. Secondly, there has been a lot of talk recently about American Airlines coming into the Ian Fleming International Airport on November 5th. But what you're not hearing is that there are actually 2 more airlines that are to come before November 5th. There is Intercarib, which tentatively is scheduled for the 10th of June, and they will become the first commercial carrier to have scheduled flights into Ian Fleming. Because a lot of persons are saying the airport will be opened in November. The airport will open a long time and has been active. Now, the opportunity that an Intercarib who flies within the Caribbean, and then on June 16th, it is scheduled for another one, OS something or another, flying out of Fort Lauderdale to fly into Ian Fleming. The opportunities that will open up for the community. There's the whole matter of Airbnb, where people want to come in and they don't necessarily want to stay in an expensive hotel. You have a spare bedroom in your house. You can rent it out to them. There is the taxi and the bus service. There are people coming into our community for vacation or coming home. They are going to need attractions. They're going to need souvenirs. So I want to urge members of the community to see the business opportunities. And in our 60th anniversary and in Workers' Week, work to get those opportunities for yourself, your family, and your community. In addition to that, the government will be launching soon a major project that will affect most of us here in St. Mary, which is now the upgrade through the St. Mary Municipal Corporation of the Murdoch Beach. For years, Arokobesa has been denied a proper public beach. And the Murdoch, clap man, don't stop. The Murdoch family, from in the 50s, I believe, gave 1 acre of seaside land to the people of St. Mary to have beach access. For those who know where Miss June Bar is, right across from Vickville, that road that go down, that is the road that carry you to Murdoch Beach. And it was well laid out with changing room, shower, locker area, everything, lifeguard stand. Hurricane Allen in 1980, I believe, destroyed the beach park, but the land was still left there, and the title Miss Douglas has at the parish council. Over the years, fortunately or unfortunately, the UDC went ahead and claimed that they sold the land to Mr. Blackwell and his company. We had to point out to them, you cannot sell what you do not own. And the people of St. Mary own Murdoch Beach. And I remember when I was mayor and I came under immense pressure to give up the title. And I told them they will never see that. That would never happen. And I'm happy that even when I left and other mayors came, both JLP and PNP, we took the same stand that Murdoch Beach title will remain with the parish council until the UDC replaces Murdoch Beach with a proper beach for the people of St. Mary. Because I am of the view that if we allow a lot of these developments that are around, soon, me and you can go over to the beach. Because right now I can go on to some properties because me name MP. But God help me the day me is not MP, me won't be able to go over there. So we have to make space that the ordinary Jamaican can enjoy what God has given us. And the parish council and myself have sat with TEF and UDC, and they have now completed the design. We have looked at the whole thing, and we're supposed to be having a community meeting. They have developed a little video about it, but it was my mistake why they used the name Willie Beach, because I had given the little fisherman beach down there, Willie, and Willie, who was there, the little Rasta man who was down there. So I just call it Willie Beach, because it never have no name. So they're going to totally redevelop what was the Fisherman's Beach or Willie's Beach, and we're going to move Murdoch Beach in honor of the Murdoch family from where it is to the new beach. When that is done, we can then give UDC or the title that they want. But the people of St. Mary would have a beach. And there are opportunities, Mr. Staines, in a beach. There's going to be somebody developing lifeguard and so. Then you're going to have convenience stores. There are going to be shops there for people to rent. And again, St. Mary people don't sit down and wait till people from St. Anne and Trelawney come and rent the shop and make money, and then we sit down and grumble. So I want our people. I hear the appeal being made for grace, for training. People need to get there and train, because if you're getting into Airbnb, I hear you're offering drapery and all of that. Then now when people have in their Airbnb and them want new drapes, you have a business. But sometimes we lock our minds to just some little things, and we need to open it up. Is Workers' Week. And another interesting development, well, you know of the post office, that the building was almost down, and they went to Boscobel. We have brought them back before the police station in the container. Mr. Kidd just completed a bridge to over Sodom, and I think there's another one, 2 bridges, and there's another one to be done. We are moving and trying our best to purchase the land at Spicy Grove so that the persons who are there can be allowed to buy their own lots. We have been 3 years in that process. And interestingly, and I'll soon go take my seat, Brother Murray. Interestingly, the government has the money to buy the land. They have negotiated with the owner, and we have settled the price. But you know, lawyers. So the owner has 2 lawyers. Another gentleman served a caveat on the property, says his land is not the owner's land. He has one whole law firm. The people who live there have their lawyer, and the government have their lawyer. So the money to buy the land and to put in a road and water and light is actually in the budget. But for God knows, the lawyers won't agree. So we have a meeting scheduled next week, which Minister Clark has indicated that the money was there from last budget, came over to this budget. If we don't spend the money this time, we're going to have to take the money and spend it on something else. So if you know any of the lawyers, beg them for God's sake, if we just settle the thing and make the people who are supposed to get the land. Because I don't like this term squatter. I like when people have their title. And when you have your title, because my mother tells me that you must have your name written in 2 books. The book of life and the book of title. So we want to give people an opportunity to put their name in the book of title. And Sister Jones and the church and Sister Ferran and Sister Nelly can help you to put your finger on the golden pen and write your name up there. The last project I want to tell you about is being led again by the St. Mary Municipal Corporation, which is the development of the fort, which is behind the police station. A lot of persons don't even know that there is a fort behind the police station. The police station was a part of the fort. It was where the people used to sleep. And Barracks Lawn is where them used to parade. And the guns were behind the station, facing the sea. Matter of fact, the guns are still behind this, I shouldn't even talk that. Next thing, the old criminal then got teethy. As they did to us in Port Maria in the park. Open my mouth and go talk about it. 2 weeks time then teethy. So that, as a matter, what you see out in the Claude Stewart Park in Port Maria, 2 board gun. When I was me, I had to make them 2. And then try to thief the 2 board gun, you see? Them don't even know where them are thief. So I want us to acknowledge the work of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation. And I want to remind all of us, if you go to Port Maria, again, tying to Workers' Week is the Claude Stewart Park. And we don't need in St. Mary to go to Emancipation Park or Harmony Cove in Montague Bay. We have our own public park that is A1, the Claude Stewart Park. Well kept. And we must be proud of ourselves and promote it. So I want to, my mural. We're trying to do a mural in the town of Arokobesa. You're going to have to carry me back, we have a whole heap of things to talk about. In the town of Arokobesa, but I hear somebody is trying to do another mural. But I said to them, since you are in a rush, you go ahead. Because there's a wall beside the Methodist Church, that right across from Dr. Bullock, that we wanted to put a mural on. But somebody is rushing to go do it, so I'm going to leave them. And there's another wall, the second mural I was going to do, right from Mishim Crossroad, go down to Crossroad, that long white wall. We want to put a mural on that. And then also to donate paint to every business place in the town to paint up their businesses in bright, vivid, shocking colors, that when you pass through Arokobesa, it will be etched in your memory and say, what a beautiful town. If you fly into St. Martin, the island of St. Martin, the first thing that strikes you is the brightness of the buildings on the island, and it leaves a lasting memory. And I want, when people come to Arokobesa, they must have a lasting memory of the town of Arokobesa in our 60th year. May God richly bless you.